Hi there friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. Captain Rex has been through a lot. It's probably why he's one of my favorite clones in the entire Grand Army of the Republic. We get to follow his journey throughout the war and see him grow and adapt as he tries to survive all sorts of new challenges and threats the war can throw at him. No other clone is more visible than Rex, yet we never see him falter. He's an excellent commander, an excellent soldier, and an excellent friend who seems to always make the right decisions. Right down to the last decision he makes during Order 66, which essentially forces him to turn his back on his fellow brothers, the Grand Army of the Republic, and his beloved Galactic Republic. Today we're going to take a look at Captain Rex during Order 66 and why, when faced with the choice of either killing his brothers or killing the former Padawan, Ashoka Tano, Captain Rex actually sides with the Jedi. Captain Rex is basically the perfect clone in my opinion. The Kaminoan cloners would have been proud with their creation. Captain Rex was a very efficient ARC trooper. He was extremely capable on the battlefield as an individual fighter. His tactical knowledge and strategic planning skills put him a step above his brothers. Even amongst ARC troopers, Captain Rex stood out from the crowd. His outside-the-box thinking and leadership skills made him an excellent commander. He also had this important ability to maintain his loyalty to his fellow brothers and to the Republic and to his Jedi commanders all at the same time. Captain Rex is always carefully balancing his relationship with each one of these groups on a daily basis while facing life and death situations. This is an extremely important skill for a commissioned officer to have. Captain Rex is not just responsible for his own life, but he's responsible for the lives of his men. During the disastrous Battle of Umbara, when the turncoat General Pong Krell takes over the 501st, Captain Rex has to serve as a liaison between the general and his own men. This means passing down extremely unpopular orders to his clone brothers, like attacking a heavily guarded enemy position without scouting the route first, or carrying out an assault under heavy fire over exposed terrain. At the same time, Captain Rex allowed the troopers beneath him to express their grievances that he would then sanitize a bit and then take directly to the general. It's an imperfect solution to a very imperfect situation, but by allowing himself to be a conduit for communication between General Pong Krell and the clone troopers, he at least assures that there is some communications going on, which should make things better. When clone troopers Hardcase, Jesse, and Fives go on an unsanctioned mission using stolen Umbaran fighters to infiltrate the Separatist blockade over the planet, Rex is willing to look the other way. This obviously goes directly against General Pong Krell's command, but at the same time, if this mission, this unsanctioned mission, is successful, it can really satisfy the third party that Captain Rex is beholden to, and that is the entire Galactic Republic. The clones in the stolen fighters managed to deliver a crippling blow to the Separatist fleets over Umbara that significantly changes the momentum of the entire battle. Captain Rex in this situation shows us that he's flexible enough to use his own power to achieve optimal results for everyone involved. It also shows us that Captain Rex is willing to bend the rules and regulation in certain situations. We see the same type of behavior from him when he fails to report the clone deserter Cutler Quain to the JR earlier on during the war. But when Pong Krell orders the execution of the clones involved in this unsanctioned attack, we see Captain Rex falter for the first time. He protests to General Krell and requests that he court-martial the clones instead. Captain Rex even offers to take blame for the entire operation.
I tried to convince him that it's my fault, but he wouldn't let me.
But according to the regulations of the JR, Pong Krell is well within his rights to order this kind of harsh punishment.
He has authority to render punishment during combat.
And so Captain Rex is forced to play along with the rules. This will not be the first time where Captain Rex's conditioning will clash with the more human side of his personality. The rules and the regulation of the JR that govern his life like a religion have failed. Either way, blood needs to be spilled, and Captain Rex is helpless. The best thing he can offer to Fives and Jesse is that he will get some kind of revenge against Pong Krell.
I won't let him get away with this.
I mean, perhaps one day when the war is over, Captain Rex can file some kind of formal complaint against General Krell. But Captain Rex knows that the Jedi General is untouchable. In the end, Rex feels helpless in the situation, a feeling that would be rare for an ARC trooper, and so this feeling would stay with him and stew and make him rethink the relationship between the clones and the Republic they serve. It's extremely demoralizing that despite all of the heroic sacrifices the clones have made, that they're still treated like tools that can be quickly discarded if they don't perform properly. Rex despises the fact that the clones aren't seen as individuals. This is why later on, when Order 66 is carried out, Captain Rex will resent the fact that someone is manipulating their brains with the control chips. He's seen firsthand what happens when a clone's future and autonomy is taken away from them by someone else, and he resents this more than anything. And so Rex would take a backseat to the execution ceremony and allow the more fanatic and aptly named clone Dogma to carry out the execution order. What surprises everyone is the fact that none of the clones are willing to shoot their comrades. Captain Rex, realizing that his fellow clones have all essentially voted not to kill their comrade, is inspired. His brothers have confirmed what he believed all along, that Jesse and Fives are not criminals, but actually heroes who should be commended by their actions. And now Rex, as their representative and captain, is willing to take responsibility for their lack of execution, even if that means it will lead to his own execution. Luckily, an attack interrupts the 501st, and they must focus their attention elsewhere for the time being. What does Captain Rex learn from this event? He learns that ultimately, as hard as he tries to balance his allegiance and loyalty, in certain occasions only one party is correct, and only one party deserves his support. Even the Jedi and their clones and the Republic they all serve will sometimes have arguments and disagreements. Captain Rex realizes that if he makes the wrong judgment again by not looking at all of the angles, he could repeat his almost deadly mistake on Umbara and condemn the wrong people to die and join the wrong side. This is one of the grave lessons he'll have learned during the Clone Wars, and as a combat officer, he'll continue to hone his decision-making skills and abilities while under fire. This ability to quickly assess the situation and come down on the right side will help Captain Rex greatly during Order 66. When Order 66 is executed, even though his brain is conditioned to kill Ashoka Tano, he's still somehow able to resist the inhibitor chip. He forces himself to step back from the situation and see all points of view. Prior to Order 66, Captain Rex had been in contact with ARC Trooper Fives. Fives believed that the Republic had implanted chips into the brains of all clone troopers, which allowed them to control their behavior. Fives believed that someone was trying to use the clones and these chips to destroy the Jedi Order. Rex was skeptical about this conspiracy at the time, and he doesn't spend much time looking into it. However, ARC Trooper Fives was a very close friend to him, so he remembered the situation. And so when Order 66 started, Captain Rex also felt the chip take over, and he remembers what Fives told him. Really, most clones, like Dogma, probably didn't even need the inhibitor chips in order to be convinced to execute their Jedi commanders. But Rex, because of his position within the GR, because of his prior experiences with terrible orders, is able to resist long enough so that he doesn't shoot Ahsoka outright, which in turn buys her enough time to find a way to extract the chip from Captain Rex's head. When Captain Rex wakes up from his chip removal surgery, he sees Ashoka Tano struggling to hold off several clones. Without hesitation, Captain Rex blasts away his former comrades with the sidearm. He's made a very decisive choice to use lethal measures to help Ashoka Tano survive the situation. It's not because he cares more about Ashoka Tano than he cares about his fellow clones. What he does understand is that Ashoka Tano is now under control of herself, whereas his brothers are now all under control of the chip. By killing his fellow clones, or at least stunning them, Captain Rex realizes that he can prevent the clones from acting against their own will. This gives them the choice to not kill Ashoka Tano, the same choice that the clones who decided to spare Jesse and Fives was given. The clones of the 501st, including Rex himself, owe Ashoka Tano a debt of gratitude. The young Padawan has fought alongside them for the entire war and saved many of their lives on the battlefield. The clones even painted Ashoka Tano's face on their helmet to show respect towards her. Order 66 took that autonomy and independence that Captain Rex believed all clones deserved. And because the clones honored death and were familiar and even resigned to the fact that they would all one day die on the battlefield, Captain Rex must believe somehow that death for these clones is better than betraying a close friend and ally because of some control chips slotted into their head. Normal people really can't make these type of decisions very easily, and what separates Captain Rex is the fact that he is a soldier and an officer, and he's always assumed the burden of command very willingly. But that's not to say that these decisions don't affect him greatly. Even though he's able to compartmentalize his love for his brothers and the threat that they have now become, Captain Rex is still a human being with feelings. I'm the kind of person who believes that our environment and our past experiences greatly affect where we go in life. I think a lot of us don't have much of a choice in what we do, just like a lot of these clones. And had Captain Rex just shot Ashoka Tano, I don't think I would have blamed him. But the fact that he's able to go against his conditioning and make the right decision, the objectively right decision by saving his friend, it just shows us what kind of person Captain Rex is. He is definitely a very special clone and a very special human being. Well, let me know in the comment section below what you think about Captain Rex's ordeal. Let me know what you think is going through his head when he has to essentially kill his family members and his fellow brothers. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button down below so you don't miss out on the rest of our awesome content. As usual, thanks for joining us today. If you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.